Here we come, a wassailing among the leaves so green. Oh, here we come, a wandering so fair to be seen. Love and joy come to you, and to you your wassail too. And may God bless you and send you a happy new year. God send you a happy new year. Good morning. Welcome to the month of December. Probably my favorite month of the year, also because it's my birthday month. But we're in the month of December. We're in the final month of 2023. There was a lot of stuff going on. Let's go. I gotta go grab a chair. There you go. It should be pretty accurate. Had to make sure I got the tree in the frame. And also, put this thing right here. Okay. Let me get a better look at the island from here, huh? So, hello. Welcome to the month of December. As you can tell, between the tree and this fancy Santa hat, I am very excited for this month. You know, it's, as unambiguously just said, I love this month. There was a lot of stuff going on. I know some people, kind of dread this time of year, but me, I love it, flaws and all. So before I get into the things I want to talk about today, let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. Let's see. I guess my only low for the moment is I started this video a little later than what I really liked. I mean, full disclosure, I actually tried getting up early to make sure that I got this video started as soon as possible, but that didn't really pan out in the best way. But I'm here now. Also, because I'm trying to plan out not just like the events that I'm going to be going to during this month, but I can't believe I'm actually going to be quoting this movie. But what will I wear? So I'm kind of at a loss in terms of what I want to do for that. I can say for sure that my high is the fact that the Cowboys won last night. Yo, Cowboys! So I'm feeling really happy about that. I also realized the inherent flaw of me being all the way over here, because my computer is actually further away, and I can't just simply reach for what I want to look at notes for and stuff. I mean, I used to balance the computer on top of the ottoman, but then I wouldn't have much of a place to rest my feet. And I like resting my feet. So, yeah, I guess you could say being where I'm at right now in this moment, specifically where I'm sitting. I mean, like emotionally, I'm doing fine. Like physically, I'm doing fine. Just a little convenient. Like I have to reach. Most people don't remember this, but back when you wanted to change the channel, you actually had to get up off of your chair and reach over and change the channel that way. It's kind of like that for right now. I have to reach so far to get to my computer and look at my notes for stuff. But I'll get by. It's probably, obviously worst case scenario, I'll probably just get up and go and grab it. But I'm so comfortable like this. Let's see, what would my act of kindness be? I think my act of kindness, I know my act of kindness. I did some things for my grandmother yesterday. Nothing major, but, I did some stuff for my grandmother yesterday. And with all that said, let me get up and grab my computer for my notes. That was embarrassing. That's never happened before. That is legit never happened before. Great, now I feel compelled to start this thing all over again. Nah, I'm not going to though. The show must go on. It's not so bad resting your family ground like this. Besides, now I can sort of look at things this way. Let's see. Let me grab my notes because there's a few things I definitely need to talk about. For stars, again, the Cowboys won, which is awesome. Hold on a minute. So I can figure out this. Hold on. Yeah, the Sterling J. Brown and Hot Ones yesterday, so I'll talk about that before I get into talking about the other real thing I want to talk about. So, for those of you who don't know, Sterling J. Brown was in a movie called American... Actually, no. Yeah, now you get a better look at the tree. Well, I make sure you can actually see the tree in frame. That's why I'm here. So, Sterling J. Brown was in American Fiction, and it's gotten a lot of great reviews. And so Sean asked him, what's your reaction to the reaction? And he didn't anticipate it at all, but he is extremely happy about it. He talked about how being in the show Godspell when he was a kid, helped shape him into becoming an actor. I mean, he was never just the ensemble, but if you've ever done a play, high school or otherwise, it's definitely your thing when you can just simply be in the ensemble, and there's just a certain high you get from that. Full disclosure, I was definitely a theater kid, but unfortunately, and I will be getting into this a couple weeks from now, I definitely had that high of being on stage, but I never really had that much confidence in myself. But I'll get to that when I get to that later. He talked about how holding back tears is harder to do than shedding them in front of the camera. When you read a scene he talked about when you read a scene about your own demise, it's actually more shocking on TV. Because, when it happens on TV, it's possible that the character that you're playing has become, the audience is watching this character grow attached to them when they die. It's insane. So, that's cool. Sterling is from St. Louis, Missouri, so there was a question about a few St. Louis things, like Ted Drew's, being good ice cream. The quintessential St. Louis song. It was weird. There was one song that he heard from this one lady, which basically just spelling the word St. Louis, but it was catchy, so he liked it. And he also talked about different people in St. Louis have different accents depending on where you are, and believe it or not, what color you are. Apparently it really does matter if you're white or black. I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, his hat's a little just slightly bigger for my head. Okay, we're cool now. Let's see. After playing the character, for the sixth wing, there really wasn't a question that Sean asked. They just talked about when David Blaine was on the show. Which, David Blaine was... Seriously, when I think of, the most unfazed, undeterred people who've ever done Hot Ones, David Blaine is probably at the top of everyone else's list. He's pretty much mine. Although there's a few people. Jenna Ortega was pretty unfazed. Guy was pretty unfazed. Alton Brown was pretty unfazed, too. So you have a few people that are undeterred by the heat. Considering how long that Sterling played his character on This Is Us, Sean asked if it was like a relief or a funeral for playing the character. What he means is, like, is he happy he no longer has to be that character? Or, is he sad that he doesn't get to be that character anymore? And it's both. Because on the one hand, that character is what made him a household name. Everyone remembers him most from being on This Is Us. But it's because of that, there's also an inherent sort of like, come on guys, I've done other stuff too. So again, there's definitely a regret that it's over, but it's definitely a good thing that he can do other things as well, which is good. I'm digging that. The greatest Hollywood football movie of all time, and this is when they were on the bottom, is Any Given Sunday. Okay, right on. Sean asked about his mom, specifically what roles his mom liked and didn't like him to do. She hated when he was on the show Starved and loved Army Wives, but her favorite performance was from when he was on the stage called Father Comes Home from the War Parts 1, 2, and 3. And for the 10th wing, Sean made Sterling say a soliloquy by Shakespeare, which, well, it's odd. Because I'm actually reading the soliloquy right now. I looked up what it is. It's from Shakespeare's Sonnet 43, I believe. And you know what? Instead of talking about the 10th wing now, I'll save that for the end of the video. Because right now, I gotta talk about this last month as a whole. The month of November. Because going into November, I boldly said that after October, I went from having the best 2 months of my life to having the best 3 months of my life. The good news is, I can definitely say best 4 months now, because November on the whole was a very good month. For sure. But unlike August, September, and October, November to me felt the most I guess if August, September, October, November were all siblings, November would probably be the sort of quiet, sort of introverted sibling who, obviously is conversational, but would rather not talk much at all if possible. Probably tends to read a lot, I guess. Basically, the other 3 months are making like a big splash. November is a slightly smaller splash, if that makes sense. On the whole, a very good month, for sure. It's just, man, November went by fast. It went by really fast. Like, how many memes did I see of people saying, okay, seriously, it felt like November just started and we're already like 2 weeks in. And then there was like, November just started and we're already at Thanksgiving. And I guess in a way, November did a great job of not flying under a lot of people's radars. In a bad way. Like, I can genuinely tell you I had a good month. But, again, everything was just so, was on the quiet side. And anything major that happened was either a holiday or you had to wait for the weekend for something remotely exciting to happen. And there were some exciting things that happened. I mean, I personally didn't go to the Parade of Lights, for example, but I know a lot of people did and they had fun. So, in terms of things that were associated with me, I mean, again, I can say it's the best 4 months of my life, so we're continuing a streak of good months overall. Honestly, I can already tell you right now, I could end, if you were to tell me I'd be ending 2023 on this strong of on a note, I wouldn't believe you. Because I really was dreading what wound up happening at the end of July. And I definitely wouldn't have, well, full disclosure, I didn't know it was happening at the end of July until I heard it was happening at the end of July. Honestly, it was just a matter of when. And then when it did happen, even when I knew it was happening, it still emotionally got me. But I tell you what, I never would have expected what happened afterwards. And it all started, believe it or not, by going to a 2-year-old's birthday party. Who knew? I certainly wouldn't have known that, but hey, it happens, I guess. Crazier things have happened. So, within the month of November, what exactly did happen that was so great? What's worth talking about? Well, for starters, there are definitely a few birthdays. I have friends who have birthdays in the month of November, but when it comes to my family, my twin nephews, they turned 4. My mom turned 65. My sister-in-law turned 35. So, we celebrate some birthdays. That's a lot of fun. Birthdays are always fun. I mentioned, holidays. Veterans Day and Thanksgiving, always very important holidays. Veterans Day, you gotta support, the men and women who, served our country. And full disclosure, I thank veterans for serving our country anyway. But I guess Veterans Day really makes us want to do it more. Which, I mean, I guess in the way it's a good thing you're doing it at all. But you really should do it as often as you can, if possible. But that's just me. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was probably the most uneventful Thanksgiving we've had in years. But, at least family was around. At least, I had good food on Thanksgiving, obviously. And the Cowboys won on Thanksgiving. That's always a plus in my book. In the words of Scooter Magruder, it's only a happy Thanksgiving if the Cowboys win. Which is a shout out to Scooter Magruder. And in terms of anything else that happened that was kind of miscellaneous but still good, because my primary care physician and his wife own Ageless on Market Street in Corning, and specifically the one that my primary care physician's wife owns. They celebrated 15 years of being in business, which 15 years, definitely a huge accomplishment. There's it's nothing to scoff at. That's always good. Michigan beat the Ohio State. That was fun. Of course, it's gotta be a big thing, right? To me, though, I think the most fun thing that happened in this entire month was easily, and remember, this was completely unplanned, by the way. When my friend who lives out in Colorado, she just recently announced her pregnancy, and a couple weeks ago, in November, of course, she had her gender reveal that she, posted live. And I watched it over at and I was going to watch it anyway, but I went over to the Illegal Tap House, and I ran into some people who we're all mutual friends of this one person who lives out in Colorado. And not only did we all watch the gender reveal, because she's having twins, we're making guesses. Everyone at the bar was making guesses as to what the genders were going to be. I mean, come on, that was just a lot of fun. That's the sort of fun I've been looking to have like this whole year. And believe me, I've gotten it a lot, especially in the last now 4 months. I mean, before summer, I was having some of that stuff too. But it's that transition from going to winter into spring that makes things feel kind of slow. Like you're kind of getting your footing after, like you're just starting, like you're a kid trying to learn how to like ski and you're trying to get your footing. It's kind of like that. Snow skiing, I meant. I guess you get your footing in water skiing too, I guess. Man, I gotta get to skiing again. It's been a long time since I've skied. So a lot of great things happened in November. And I mentioned that I didn't go to the Parade of Lights. And I remember I felt like I was missing some FOMO from, I had a sense of FOMO from that. Fear of missing out. For those of you who don't know what FOMO means. But this whole week I came to the conclusion that the last weekend in November, it didn't need to be much. It was kind of meant to be that it was as uneventful as it was. Because there's a hell of a lot of things to look for in the month of December. I mean, hello, look at the hat in the tree. Christmas is coming, folks. It's the last month of 2023. Like, listen, I'm sure there are some people watching this who probably didn't have the greatest year, and you have my sympathies if, you didn't. But I look at that kind of situation, and I think about me a year ago. Like, I had only just started to come around after getting my heart broken, and I wound up finishing 2022 on a high note. So, think of December 2023 as your last chance. Speaking of last chances, it's something I definitely gotta do. I'll talk about it in a second. Let's see what else. All right. I have a very important series of videos to do this month, don't I? Don't worry. And I alluded to this earlier when I talked about, I didn't really have much confidence, even with that high that you get from, performing on stage. I'll get into more of that when the time comes. But we're coming to that time of year where I explain why I'm still here. And if you've been watching me for long enough, you know what it is. If not, you'll learn something very important. I have friends going to various pop-up events. There's something going on at the Domes at Elmira College this Sunday. There's something going on. There's a few things going on the December 9th and December 10th. I'm going to those. Sparkle is tomorrow. I'm definitely going to Sparkle. Sparkle's going to be awesome. SantaCon is going to be on December 9th. Admittedly, I'm kind of on the fence about going to that. I mean, I'm leaning more towards yes than no, but again, I still have time to decide. Holiday in the Square in Horseheads, that's going to be on the 15th. Christmas, Christmas is coming. Hello, again, the Santa hat. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Christmas. I'm sure there are probably people watching this that don't celebrate Christmas, but you got Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. We can also have the Festivus for the rest of us. We can do that. So whatever religion or holiday you celebrate, so whatever religion you worship and therefore holiday you celebrate, that holiday's coming up. Look forward to that. That's pretty cool. I'm Catholic, so Christian for me. Or Christmas for me. I mean, I almost said Catholics and Christians are the same thing, but that's not remotely true at all. All Catholics are Christians, but not all Christians are Catholics. There you go. It's like the religious equivalent of all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. You know what I mean? So after Christmas, my birthday, I'm gonna be turning 34 very near the end of the year, and in fact, my birthday will be the last thing I gotta do before, we bring in the new year. And at the end of the day, there's one thing I gotta do. I gotta do the thing I gotta do to make, I've given this a lot of thought. I really have given what I'm about to say a lot of thought. Because there's something that I want to do. Some of you know what it is. If not, then I'll say this. Regardless of whether or not I do this thing and I get the desired outcome, let's say, I would still say that 2023 would be the greatest year of my life. I really truly believe that. Because I've come so very far, self-love. I've met so many wonderful people that have actually accepted me, took me in, fun times, made some great friends, yeah. I'm willing to say that this is the best year of my life if I do this thing. So now I just gotta go and do it. And now to close off this video, I can now do Shakespeare's Sonnet 43 as done by Sterling J. Brown in yesterday's episode of Hot Ones. When most I wake, then do mine eyes best see, for all the day they view things unrespected. But when I sleep, in dreams they took on thee, and darkly bright are bright and dark directed. Then thou whose shadows doth make bright, how do thy shadows form from happiness now? Form for happy show, to the clear day with thy much clear light, when to unseeing eyes thy shades shines so. How would, I say, mine eyes be blessed made by looking on thee in the living day, when in dead night thy fair imperfect shade through heavy sleep on sightless eyes doth stay. All days are nights to see till I see thee, and nights bright days when dreams do show me thee. I hope you all like this video. If you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I am very humble and made this video for all of you guys who are watching. Enjoy for today. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk to anyone who's going to be here to lend an ear, I'll always have your back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.